So one of the biggest ways that people have found mentors as undergrads is by taking part in research. And so that's a great way to find a really natural relationship between a mentor and a mentee. And so you can get a research mentor by applying to lab formally, reaching out to a PI, or taking part in university programs like University Scholars. And if you're still looking for research, you can also utilize our CURBS peer mentoring that takes place in Newell Hall, and you can talk to students and they'll help you. But in a research setting, you often work with your principal investigator and other graduate students, and they are able to share a lot of knowledge with you, and you can gain hard skills, networking skills, and also attend conferences.
So we're going to go through where you can find a mentor. So you can find a mentor naturally through your interactions with faculty here. So if you want to learn more about your chosen field, or you found a certain professor that you had a course with really interesting, you can consider reaching out to them, or even other faculty at specific departments at UF. So if you're in class with a professor, make yourself known, go to office hours, talk to them after class. I've even set up a meeting with a professor that I found their research like particularly interesting. And so that's a great way to find a mentor as well. Other ways you can do this is through internships. So taking part in internships is a great way to foster professional connections and network a lot. So internships are like vastly available in almost any industry. And so this will help you gain professional experience, as I said, networking, project development, portfolio content, and a lot of the times these internship programs will also help you with things like applying to graduate school. So internships are another great tool to find and foster the mentor-mentee relationship as well. So navigating professional relationships and research is an important part of the networking process that takes place, especially if you're already involved in research. So graduate students and PIs in your labs are great resources for professional relationships. Graduate students, especially because they've recently been involved in the graduate school application process. They can give you a lot of insight about how to ask for letters of recommendation, how to form essays, how to conduct interviews, and things like that. PIs have obviously a lot of insight about the field that they're conducting research in. So a great way to connect with them and foster a mentor-mentee relationship is to connect with your PI and making sure that you're communicating with them, asking them the right questions, and always being respectful of their time.
Okay, and like we've mentioned multiple times, maintaining this relationship with your PI is important because maintaining this relationship can help you diversify your skills, help you network, and make yourself stand out. And it might seem really intimidating to go up to your PI and like just even try and make a conversation. Like for me personally, I've been working in a lab for 2 years, and it wasn't until like the past few weeks that I really talked to my PI because she just seems so intimidating. But sometimes you just have to push yourself and do things outside of your comfort zone, and it'll pay off. But yeah, it's important to be conscious of their time, but also to try and find that balance in maintaining that relationship and reaching out to them when you need to. And so we recommend reaching out to them at least twice a semester, if not more, to like check in with your progress, ask any questions, and talk about anything else you want to discuss. And yeah, so how to make the most out of your mentorship: ask questions, be honest, respect their time, and set expectations with your mentor and with yourself.
So now we're going to talk about letters of recommendation. There's a specific etiquette that has to take place when you ask for letters of recommendation in general. And a lot of these are unwritten rules. They're not really something that people broadcast. So you might not know the sort of unwritten rules or the sort of etiquette that's involved when asking for letters of recommendation. But your mentors can provide great letters of recommendation specifically because they are so emotionally and socially involved with your desires to enter your given field. And they've probably talked to you a lot about your future prospects in the field as well. So people who can provide great letters of recommendation are your mentors or PIs. They can also provide great letters because they're familiar about your skill set within the research setting, and that can be very transferable to work in the field. So, just a little bit about the unwritten rules. It is really important to be respectful when asking for letters of recommendation, especially because these people have a lot of networks and connections within the field. So um, you want to give them ample time to complete their letters. Usually, academia follows like a 4 to 6 week rule before the due date. And each letter writer might have a different way of going about this process. So, some might ask to set up a meeting with you to learn more about you and your resume, some other things you might be involved with that they don't know about. Some people might ask you to send over, like I said earlier, like a resume, and they might actually send over like a document with questions for you to answer, just so that they can best write your letter in the way that you want it to be written in. So, another thing that's important and often overlooked is keeping your letter writers updated throughout the process. So if you are admitted to the program that they had written a letter for, let them know and definitely thank them because they definitely played part in the process. And you never know what connections they might help you with in the future. So it's always important to keep them updated and thank them for all of their help.
And I do want to add two things to this slide. If you like reach out to somebody, whether it be your PI or somebody else, and they don't respond, it's okay to like send them a follow-up email. Like that's totally okay. That happened to me, and it just so happened that the person I was emailing, my email got lost because they're busy people. So it's okay to follow up with them respectfully, and more than likely they will respond. And also, when you're asking for a letter of recommendation, another good thing that you guys could consider doing is when you're like, once they say yes, send them a packet with your resume, your cover letter, any other activities that you've done that you may not have talked to them about. Because that can, first of all, just facilitate the conversation way more easier, make the process easier for them to write the letter. And yeah, it works well with me. But yeah, that was it. Okay, and thank you guys for coming on to our workshop today. It was short, but I hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any questions, please use um, the Slido website that we had shown you earlier. Um, and yeah, this is our follow-up survey QR code. If you have any suggestions, please let us know.